Hi, welcome to Gigat's Country Kitchen. We're going to be cooking some blueberry muffins today, and this is a very simple, easy recipe that I think you will really enjoy. It's fluffy and so tasty, and I'm using some fresh blueberries today. If you notice, I have them tossed with a tablespoon of flour. That's 1 cup of fresh blueberries. It's sort of piled up. It's a little more than 1 cup, but I like a lot of blueberries in mine. Now, if you wanted the batter not to be affected by so much of the blueberry color and the juice, you could use dried blueberries that whenever it's baking and it's in the moisture, they constitute and they become more softer, which is fine also. But I love a good fresh blueberry in these muffins. It adds that little extra moistness to it that just makes them so yummy. But what we have here is I have 2 cups of flour, a tablespoon of baking powder, and I have a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to sift that together in my bowl here and get it all nice and fluffy and blended together. Okay? All right. It doesn't take but a second, and that little extra step right there really helps your baking come out a little more lighter, a little more fluffy. It just incorporates that air, and I make my own baking powder, so the baking soda that's in it, sometimes you'll have little clumps, and you want to get those worked out. You don't want those little clumps in your mixture. So we're going to set that right here. Now I've got 1/3 cup of sugar, and we're going to add that right in with our flour. And I'm just going to stir that together. Okay, and get that all nice and blended. Now, what I have here and what I recommend you do if you do not want to use an egg in your product, and mine, I do not have eggs in it, I use instead, it is a golden flax seed. And this is the whole golden flax seed. And I just grind that up. If you've got a coffee grinder or what have you, just grind it up into a powder. You can also buy it already ground. And then I take and I mix 1 tablespoon of the ground flaxseed with 3 tablespoons of cold water. And this takes the place in your recipe of an egg. So if you have a recipe that needs 3 eggs, you would just multiply that 3 times. 1 egg is 1 tablespoon, and you see it has that consistency of what eggs have. Okay? So we have, and what I do before I start doing any of the other, I go ahead, I get my flax and my water together and blend it, and I let it sit so it can soak in and be ready by the time we mix everything together. And I go ahead and take my fresh blueberries, I wash them, and I toss them, I drain them really good, just shake them real good, and then I put a tablespoon of flour in them and get them ready. Now while you do that is when we add the blueberries into our muffin mixture, it just sort of helps the blueberry juice and everything just hold together and keeps the blueberries a little bit separated. It's just a little baking tip, little tactic that you do to help when you're making muffins. Okay, so right now we're going to mix in our wet ingredients. Those include 3/4 of a cup of milk. I am using this organic almond milk that's unsweetened. I love this brand. We're just going to pour it right in. I have 1 stick of butter, which is equivalent to 1/2 cup melted butter. We'll pour that in. Okay, get all that good stuff out of there. Alrighty. And then we're going to put our flax egg replacement. And we'll put that right in here. Now, when you are introducing the wet ingredients to your dry ingredients. You just need to make sure and do not overwork this. It's very important that you gently just fold rather than beat in this mixture. It'll be a little lumpy, that's okay. And you may have to add a little extra milk to it because it's a little thick right now. So I'm going to put a little extra milk. It's all about your flour, how close you get it to the right measurement. So I'm going to add a little more milk in here. And just sort of cut that in there. You want this batter to be sort of thick, but not too thick. It actually needs a tad bit more. Alrighty, let's put this. This is going to be more like probably 1 1/4 cups milk. I'll adjust that in the recipe. And that varies. Don't put it all in at once because, you'd be surprised at the things that can affect this. Okay, we don't want to overwork this because we're going to get that gluten going and we don't want it to get in there too much. Okay, we're going to add our blueberries in. Excuse me. We're just going to fold those in. They'll be a little stuck because I've got that flour mixed in them. Okay, and we just want to gently fold them in. There again. Now, if you like walnuts or pecans, this is a good time to do it. Also, another flavor that is absolutely great that you can put in the muffins is lemon. I'm going to use a lemon sugar on top, but that is a real good ingredient that you can use as well. Okay, we're going to let that sit there for just a second while we get our pan ready. Now, when you grease your pan, if you want your muffins to come up and not spread out so bad, and that's one reason we're also leaving the batter a little bit thicker, it's because the blueberries, fresh blueberries, are going to add juice into this as it's baking. That juice is going to come out of them. But if you want it to rise up instead of just coming over the top of your pan, you want to grease mostly just the bottom of your pans. So I'm going to take and put just a little squirt into each bottom, and we're going to take a paper towel and we're just going to rub that around in the bottom and just lightly do the edges, not on top. You don't want the top done. That will make your muffins rise up more, come upward, and have that nice pretty muffin shape rather than just flattening out on top and not doing good. So we're just going to do that now. If you've got a really good non-stick pan and you know it won't stick, then you don't have to do nothing but just the bottoms. But you don't want to have a hard time trying to get them out either. That's never fun. Now I just sprayed that with a little bit of avocado spray. That's just my choice. You can use butter, you can use whatever oil that you like. Okay, we're going to hold up just a second. Let me clean some of this out of the way. We're going to come back and fill this pan up and get it ready. Okay, so I have a 1/4 cup ice cream scoop. It's just what I prefer. If you don't have nothing but a spoon, that's fine. Do it however you need to. But I like to use a ice cream scoop because one thing, you can get sort of the same amount in each one. But we're just going to put that right in. And that's a little full. You don't have to fill them quite that much, but I don't mind. I want a nice size muffin. And this pan, it's a little thin. I like them a little bit taller. But you can do jumbo muffins or what have you. You can do streusel tops. There's just a lot of things that you could do with this. It makes it so yummy and good. But you will preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and depending on the size of your muffin, it can take anywhere from 12 to 18 minutes generally, depending on, how big your pan is. We'll get these in there. And mine is probably going to come over the top a good bit because this pan, if you noticed, it's pretty thin. It's not a real deep pan, but it's still a nice, good, non-stick good pan. So that's okay. Alrighty. Alright, I'm going to take this, and I actually have enough in here to make a couple more. But what I'll do with that little bit of extra is put a little more milk with it and just cook it like a pancake and have a couple little pancakes with it. So if you have leftovers and you don't want to have to deal with trying to get another pan or packing too much in them and what have you, there's you a little tip. Just take that same batter, add just a tiny, enough milk with it to make it pancakey, and then heat you a skillet up and you have a blueberry pancake. But I will pop these in the oven and we'll be right back to show you the finished product. Okay, we're back. Fresh out of the oven, we have these beautiful blueberry muffins. And what I'm going to do right now is, first of all, we're going to dump these out onto our pan, our little tray here, and see they come out nice and easy. You may have a little bit where the blueberry wants to stick around, so you have to be careful with that so you don't pull your blueberries out of the muffins as you're releasing them. But we're just going to set these on the tray for a minute because we're going to butter the tops of these and we're going to sprinkle a little lemon sugar on them. And I'll show you what I did to get that lemon sugar. Okay, see, we have 12 beautiful, nice muffins. And if you wanted bigger ones, you can use a bigger muffin pan and just put more batter into it. Oh, I'm going to leave that there a second. Okay, so what we're going to do is I melted a little bit of butter, and on each one, we're going to dab a little bit of butter on it, and then I have a little bit of sugar here, a tablespoon of sugar, and I put one of these true lemons in it. And you're just going to pinch a little bit and just sprinkle that on top. And that just gives a little more flavor to the top of it, and it makes it so good. And you can do a few of them at once here. It's just you don't want the butter to all soak in before you get your sugar lemon on it. And you can even just dip the tops into sugar, and that gives just a really nice taste to them. Okay, do these just real quick for you. And remember, with baked goods, if you put a little butter on them after you get them out of the oven, it helps to lock in that moisture in them, which will make the baked goods last longer and stay fresher, softer. Just makes them taste really good. Now you can take these muffins and get a little cinnamon sugar even and just toss the whole muffin in them. Okay? Now looky there. We have these beautiful muffins, all nice and ready for a great breakfast. And if you remembered, I told you how with that extra batter, how we could just take and be able to make some pancakes out of it. And that's what I did right here. I made 2 little pancakes, and we'll just add some syrup on top of them and have these beautiful muffins here for breakfast. And looky there, you have just a great, wonderful breakfast for your family that did not take no time. Let's take a peek inside of here. Look at all that goodness. Is that not beautiful? That's all that nice blueberry in that. There you go. This is you a great blueberry muffin that you can throw together just real quick. Now, I put these in the oven a 400-degree oven. I cooked them for 20 minutes. And then I took and raised them up on the top shelf and I cut the broil on. And I just got a nice little browning on top for about 2 minutes. And watch them closely because they will really get brown. And you don't want too much of that. You want to keep them nice and moist. So that's all you have to do. I hope you really enjoyed this recipe. I hope you get to share it with the ones that you love. And, just make you up some little double pouches in some little plastic bags and have quick to grab and go breakfast as you're going out the door in the mornings, or whatever you need to do for a big family event. Just cook them up some blueberry muffins. But if you would, please like and subscribe and share our videos and come back and see us again and grow with our channel. We try to bring good food, clean, a channel. We love God. We love this country. We love sharing our knowledge of cooking and just so many other things we have lined up for you in the near future. So come back and see us again. Thank you.